Coming up, we're going to be discussing the amazing adventures of Spider-Man and finding out whether or not it's worthy to be in our crazy, made-up, faked Universal Hall of Fame. So live from the Bob Varley studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Universal edition of the Diz Unplugged. This is episode 86 of the Diz Unplugged Universal Edition. The Diz Unplugged Universal Edition is brought to you by, you guessed it, Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect universal vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hey, it's Craig. And freaked out,
hey,
and Rhino's there, and freaked out Oliver in the back.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry.
Hey, so
that was the fastest introduction.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I was waiting for it, but sorry.
I'm not happy. I like to draw out my introductions as long as possible and make people really anticipate who's going to be here. So you just ruined that.
Pretend like I didn't. Do it again.
No, I can't. It's what's done is done.
What's done is done.
What's done is done. So, hey guys, welcome to this episode of the Diz Unplugged Universal Edition. We got a wham doozy for you here this week.
Doozy.
We're gonna get really bamboozled on this one. We're gonna get things crazy. We're gonna shake it up a little bit. We're gonna talk about something that I think personally we all love. I don't know. Maybe not.
We'll
Who
have
knows?
to see.
Only time will tell. We will find out. But this week on the show, we are going to discuss the amazing adventures of Spider-Man, one of the greatest rides to ever come out to Universal. Just if one of us doesn't like it or not, that doesn't matter. All that matters is that it's accepted that it is quite possibly the best ride, if not one of the best. Well, wait, opposite. One of the best, if not the best.
Strike
That's
that.
where I was
Reverse
going.
it.
Yeah, strike, reverse. On with the show. So, we've got that coming up for you in just a little bit. But before we really get going on that, I want to break out a brand new segment of the show. We're going to talk about our thoughts and feelings.
I thought there was going to be like a sad song that played for that. Thoughts and feelings. Time with Craig.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Well, it's
I think that was the NBC tune.
No one ever has housekeeping, so I figure we might as well change it up and really start exploring ourselves. Really getting in
Selves.
Ourselves.
selves.
I'm not saying it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know you want to. No, I'm kidding. But is there any housekeeping, any updates,
No.
anything anyone wants to say about Universal that we haven't said in the past week?
No.
No?
No from me.
I love it still. My passion for it is still strong and alive.
If anything, it's just increased.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all. I don't have anything fun. I wish.
Yeah, no, I
did.
don't either. So this is probably going to be on the shorter side. There's been... Yes, I understand. Anytime anything comes out with an S, it just, you really want to go into the sexual feeling.
Sexual feel.
Yeah, there's been nothing good news about the only thing that Universal would like to make people aware of in the past week, which is kind of funny because we alluded to it, I believe, just on last week's in our summer preview. The oldest international continental soccer tournament, Copa America, is coming to the United States June 3rd through the 26th. Now, Oliver, are you aware of what Copa America is?
Not a clue.
No?
I was one of those English people that just didn't really enjoy soccer that much.
Wow.
So where I'm from, though, I've been told the team is doing rather well, Leicester, but that's as far as it goes. So.
No, I believe they're number one.
Yeah, the other day they got mentioned on Ellen. Ellen DeGeneres spoke about it, so they must be doing well.
Wow, Ellen's just kind of
A being.
an amazing human being that we all
We're
love.
going to say community access. It's
No.
basically just this community access
It's
show.
just this
Ellen,
Okay, who hates Ellen DeGeneres?
the
No
worst
one.
type of people.
No one.
Yeah.
She's just too lovable.
She is.
But yeah, so long story short, I'm going to keep going on, so really just long story. You guys all lose. And then from June 10th to July 10th, there's the European Championship happening as well, too. So long, there's going to be a lot of soccer happening. And then, of course, the Olympics, as we talked about. So basically, Universal said, if you want to watch soccer or sports, you need to go to NBC Sports Grill and Brew. So I'm clearly it was our conversation last week where someone watched and said, you know what?
They're trolling us, man.
We need to make sure that we put out this information because these bloggers are doing it for us, and right now that's not okay. We need to get it out there on our own. And that's, of course, what I would say if I actually thought that anyone gave two craps about us.
Oh,
I think some people give one crap about us. One crap, not two.
I care about us.
Yeah, but no one cares what you think. Yeah, you're still too new for people to care.
I'm replaceable. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say you're replaceable. I would never say that. That would be rude.
Expendable.
So what you're actually saying is that if I was to go, you wouldn't even need to replace me. That's how new I am.
At this point, we could just get like a shoe or something to sit in your
that
seat.
switches the camera.
No,
Cut to the really big shoe. Really big shoe.
Yeah. I'm interested in seeing how a shoe could do.
I
But
really want to see a show now where we've got a shoe propped up back there and we can cut to it somehow.
The shoe would probably be quicker at switching than I am. So
If the
just
shoe
gonna put it
fits.
there. Oh.
okay, so the best thing, I don't usually bring the chat in unless we're specifically doing it in purpose. But Loretta C just popped in and was like, "Hey, all what I miss?" And my initial answer is nothing. You've missed absolutely nothing. But that's
You've missed the warm up. We're just warming up.
You miss where we stretch our extendable limbs. That's what they are. We stretch our limbs, we get loosened up, and we get ready to go. So, I guess without further ado, after getting over that super exciting news about essentially what we learned is that Oliver's an awful Brit who doesn't like soccer.
He didn't even refer to it as football.
He prefers coffee to tea, and he was making fun of Alan Twinings or whatever. Stephen Twinings?
Stephen Twinings.
Yeah,
at least I pronounced Twinings correctly.
What's that?
I said at least I pronounced Twinings correctly.
Who's Twinings?
A lot of the
Twinings.
Americans
The
say
tea.
Twinnings.
The tea. Twinings tea.
I don't drink enough tea, I guess.
If you drink the beverage hot and not full of sugar and high fructose corn syrup, it's probably a Twinings tea bag that was in your cup. Just to
I don't want
let
you
you
to talk to me about tea bags. We're done. We're done.
You knew it was going to go there.
Yeah, done. Leave it to Oliver to bring it back to the tea
Okay, let's get it. Spider-Man.
bag. Walter J. Spiderman.
Our favorite New York lawyer turned spider.
Wait, there, he was a
think he might have his
photographer.
Yeah, he might have.
No,
the
he was a
backstory
lawyer.
Confused. Yeah.
Was
He's
he?
a lawyer, yeah.
No.
He was a down on his luck lawyer, blinded by some sort of chemical accident.
The Spiderman.
I think it's
Oh,
from Gotham City.
you're all
If somebody's
messing
head
with me.
maybe exploding right now while
I
they
know.
listen to this.
No, because I don't think anyone who actually cares about this stuff watches or listens to this. No.
Spider-Man's my favorite. The guy.
Yeah, why don't we explore that?
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I love Spider-Man.
Why?
I've got some ideas why you love Spider-Man.
Some of those ideas are probably true. I just think that I like Peter Parker's story. He's the kind of awkward guy that, nothing seems to go right for him, and then he gets these spider powers and stuff still doesn't seem to go right for him, and it's just he's one of those. I don't know. He's just my favorite superhero. I think it's him or Superman, but I think of years of late, Spider-Man is for me the best.
Yeah, so I guess what I'm understanding from this is you see, minus the radioactive spider bite happening, you see yourself in Spider-Man.
In Spider-Man, yes. Wow. That would explain why I wear so many different Spider-Man onesies. Is that what you wanted me to get into?
No,
No, it's not.
I just had very I had bad wording there.
No, I thought you were doing it on purpose.
Oh, I didn't hear what he said. Oh, I just heard it.
That was bad. But
you agree.
We all want
you
a little
agree.
bit of Spider-Man in us.
But yeah. So okay, yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. So
I'll say it right now. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, 1 and 2, are some of my favorite superhero movies, and I believe I'll say 1 or 2 is in my top 10 movies.
wow.
I just really like the art direction and
That's
editing and sound and
You're allowed.
everything. Yeah.
You're allowed.
Yeah.
So let's get into the nitty gritty here. Obviously, Rhino likes Spider-Man. Oliver, I doubt he's ever seen anything related to Spider-Man. I don't think they have that over in his country. And
Over there, it's just they have the Avengers, but not like the cool Avengers. They have like Emma Peel and like they're just polite.
yeah, they do.
Excuse me, sir. Could I arrest you?
They have the different Avengers, not the comic book hero.
One that
Avengers.
carries an umbrella and the other one that wears a black lycra outfit.
I believe Uma Thurman starred in the last
that's the only
movie
one.
that they did
How
with
now,
that.
brown cow? That's the only line from that movie I can remember. Sean Connery is unfortunately in that movie as well.
We do have Spider-Man in England.
Where does he swing from?
He swings from.
Good one.
I'm just trying to think of something British that I could say.
Big Ben. I was waiting
He
for you to
swings
say Big Ben.
around the streets of London.
I believe
I
the
don't
person
know.
you're thinking of is Jack the Ripper. Not the same guy.
In my head now, I've got like a musical number of Jack the Ripper because he swings around like skibidi-bap-bap-bap-bap.
Yeah. So
There's the musical element for the episode.
So Oliver does know. I'm glad we could confirm that. I am a hit or miss Spider-Man fan. Rhino and I will get into discussions about the.
You know what?
Some
I
of the
think that'd
movies.
be a good, maybe a Diz Pop episode where we go through every Spider-Man movie at
Yeah, yeah.
once, preparing for the new one. We're
Yeah.
gonna have to do that. We'll do a rewatch and we'll do a marathon.
Oh no, that'll be fun. I should probably rewatch them. Regardless of how I feel about the character in the Tobey Maguire movies or Andrew Garfield,
What about the '90s cartoon?
the '90s cartoon that actually for me, I wasn't even a huge fan of the '90s cartoon, but I did the way I first really started to discover Spider-Man was actually in the was it 60s cartoons or was that in
Really?
the 70s? Yeah.
I think it was the '60s.
That's what I-
It was like Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends.
Yeah, and X-Men would show up all the time too.
Like I think Iceman was his roommate or
Yeah,
something.
that's
that.
that's whenever I first really started getting into anything Spider-Man. That was just shortly before the Tobey Maguire movies came out. And then, I was a 13-year-old kid back then, or however old I was. Less than that, I
In
think
the
I was
60s?
10 or 11.
Yeah.
No, when Tobey Maguire with the first Spider-Man. Was that 02?
Yeah, that was
02, so I was 15?
15, yeah, because I was
okay.
7. Yeah, I was in my junior year, I think, when that came.
Yeah, so I was at the perfect age for those movies. Those were the good old PG-13 movies that we'd be going to see.
And those were the first movie. That I feel like that Spider-Man movie is the first movie where they really did a full CGI character, and they did it well.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, oh, that's we saw Spider-Man alive for the first time too.
Yeah. So I've had hit or miss appreciation with Spider-Man growing up. However, finally we're gonna get to the ride. Finally, after 20 so minutes into
Well,
this.
I bring in the '90s animated
Yeah.
one only because that when I go into this ride, that's what's in my head,
Yeah.
and this isn't quite that, but it's in that realm of it.
Yeah.
So
And so what I was trying to get at is the thing at the end of the day, no matter how I felt about the movies, the cartoons, comics itself, I absolutely love this attraction.
Yes.
I have gone on record many times in this show saying that this is easily in my top 3 attractions at Universal. It always just bounces around. Is Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey will always be number 1. That's a fact. Nothing can beat it.
Wow.
And then right after that, it's a struggle between is it Spider-Man or is it Gringotts? Because I love both of those so much, and at the one aspect, Harry Potter's so meaningful to me that I want to put that in number 2. But Spider-Man is just it's the bee's knees.
A lot of
It's
people
the
agree
cat's
with
meow.
you. An awful lot of people agree with you as well, Craig, because I was doing some research before the show, and I forgot the company that did it now, but they give out awards for dark rides, and Spider-Man won 12 consecutive years in a row, so it does well.
What one after
well. That? Interestingly enough, it was one of the Harry Potter...
It was Forbidden Journey.
Are you talking about the golden tickets?
That would be the one, yes.
The Golden Ticket Awards?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I skimmed over it. I was doing something else at the same time, so I remember kind of reading it, but I was impressed that they won 12 years.
Yeah, I was still at Forbidden Journey. Well, that was in the first year, so that was way before the Diz came into my life, but I was there whenever Forbidden Journey won their first Golden Ticket Award, because we all got to stand inside the Defense Against the Dark Arts room with the Golden Ticket Award and take a picture. And some of us actually, the picture happened, so there was proof, but we were allowed to climb the staircase up and stand right beside where the projection is for Harry, Ron, and Hermione. So it looked like cool. We made sure to take the picture once it came up. Yeah. So they were in there too, and then people were standing beside them as well, so it was really awesome.
Have you got that photo lying around still? I wouldn't mind seeing that if you've got it somewhere.
I'm sure I do. It was on it was like back whenever I had like an LG phone, so cell phone picture. Really bad quality.
VGA quality?
Oh yeah.
Can I count the pixels, Craig?
I'm sure you could. So I'll have to try to dig it up somewhere. It's got to be buried on a hard drive somewhere in my life. But so many I've got 99 hard drives. I don't even know how to end that.
I don't know. But a camera phone ain't one of them.
But a camera phone ain't one. That was so stupid. So stupid.
But what's so like I said, the ride, the attraction itself reminds me a lot of the 90s cartoon in the best of ways.
Yeah.
But what's the story here? Like, do you want to tell the story of the attraction? Is that where you wanted to start or what?
I mean, I guess we could.
I'm curious. I know it just from going through the queue, but I don't know if you know more detail of the story than I do.
No, go ahead.
It's just
please.
Well, from what I understand, it's just the standard, like...
Tell us a story, Rhino. Tell us a story.
Gather around, everyone. It's just it's the standard Spider-Man story, I think. Like Spider-Man is Peter Parker. A fire sale.
Keep going.
And Spider-Man works at the Daily Bugle. If you don't know this, Peter Parker, the photographer, and you kind of are walking through You're walking through the Daily Bugle offices, and you're being sent on assignment because there are the Sinister Six is attacking the city.
What are they stealing in particular?
A ray that makes things float, right?
But what are they stealing?
I know.
Oh, the Statue of Liberty?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so they're using Doc Ock built this ray that you shoot things and it makes it float.
And I have to correct you. It's not Sinister Six. It's the Sinister Syndicate.
I knew as I said it, I was like, I don't think that's right, because there's a lot of weird, like slightly off Spider-Man references in this ride for some weird reason. But so the Daily Bugle has this new all-terrain vehicle that is for their reporters, and we're all, since Jonah can't find, J. Jonah Jameson can't find Parker, he's going to send us out on the assignment, and we're all going to get in the scoop.
Yep.
That's what they call the vehicle.
The scoop. It's funny because it's like we're going out to getting the scoop.
But we're going
the scoop.
In a scoop to get the scoop while we eat our Frito scoop. No, there's no eating and drinking on this ride. But yeah, so that's that, and you kind of go, and the thing is the Sinister Syndicate sees you, and you've got to take off, and Spider-Man's trying to help you along the way.
Exactly. Spider-Man's doing what he can.
Whatever a spider can.
What he's doing, whatever a spider can. You got lots of Spider-Man.
Can he swing from a web?
I believe he can.
You just got to look out overhead, right?
Yes, sure.
Look out.
So you're going to see Electro, Scream, as you said, Doc Ock, Hydro Man, the Hobgoblin.
Who don't know what Scream is? It's this like symbiote, like Venom, but a woman.
Yeah.
Symbiote Spider Woman.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with her character, but I'm not like I love the Spider-Man stories and stuff like that, but I don't know. I didn't know who she was, but Just another symbiote infected individual.
Yeah, it's just she is one of 6 symbiote spawns of Venom, so she came from Venom.
From Venom, okay.
So that's why it's still the same Venom style.
Yeah. Yeah, she got a tongue. She got a tongue. She got a Gene
tongue.
Simmons tongue.
Yeah, so that was a really decent job of kind of summarizing.
I knew the vehicle and everything.
Yeah, no, you got. I mean, you essentially got all the details. So, what makes this ride so great? Well, before we get there, so we are going to mostly be touching on the 2012 remake of the ride, not remake. Updated,
the update.
The re-enhanced. Not a lot really changed between the original version and the update. The big conversion was that they went from the old film that they had in there, and they upgraded to 4K high definition 3D screens, and that's where the ride starts out right away. Is that it is just so beautiful to look at.
Oh yeah.
We can sit here and argue over the merits of. Is 3D motion simulators overdone? Are 3D overdone? Motion simulators overdone at Universal? We've done it before. Sometimes we say yes. Sometimes we say no. Sometimes we say right in the middle. But you can't even throw Spider-Man in that mix because this is the one that really kicked off like why they need to do more
this
interactive.
Is the one that all bars should be set by from now on. You know what I mean? That nothing should ever be less than this ever.
Yeah, so it is a moving motion simulator. You board ride vehicles, the scoop vehicles, as Rhino said, 3 different rows, 4 riders per row. Height restriction of 40 inches, just for anyone out there who's thinking about bringing their kids, introducing it on at 40 inches. It's pretty accessible for children. In a way.
Was that 3-4?
That's 3.5 feet.
Yeah.
3.5. So 36 inches. Or 36 inches is 3 feet. And
what is that, a 4 or 5?
Add on 4 more inches, so 3.25.
Okay.
3.25. Or 3 1/3. God, I am awful at math today.
Yeah.
Are you overestimating your inches, Rhino?
God, you're the worst.
I used to be smart until all the head trauma and other stuff like that.
He's opening his milk jug right now. He got kicked in the head by a cow last week.
That's why I put it to the wide, so everyone could see him struggle.
Yeah, I honestly, I used to be much smarter than I am now. Believe it or not, I was clever at one point in time, and then I don't know if it's getting older or if it's getting hit in the head, because that has happened before. I don't know if it was college, like some people, but something has just left me in a state where I am progressively getting dumber and dumber as I get older. But
it's like the Benjamin Button of the mind.
Yeah, I guess as long as I stay funny, at least
we can laugh at your pain. Yeah.
So I'm gonna take a drink.
Okay,
of my water.
Rhino, say something.
I forgot. I literally had something to say, and then someone in the chat just wrote something, and it threw me off. But yeah, Spider-Man. The high definition transfer of this ride, just it's great, and the 3D is like wonderful. And I'm speaking on a motion sickness level here, because I'm very motion sickness prone. I find that if I do take Dramamine, I'm fine on this one. But I think this one is definitely worth that risk.
Yeah.
If none others, this one is 100% worth.
Yeah,
that risk.
there is a little bit of spinning in this ride too, so it's not just that weird motion simulator feel. And some of the effects in terms of how this motion simulator is, particularly the end where you're falling from the building.
We have to talk about that effect, because that feeling I had the first time I rode that ride, I was just like, I don't know what's moving. Is the wall moving? Is the car moving? Am I like, what is moving? Like, you literally feel like you are falling, and it's an incredible. And I've looked around a little bit more every time I go on it, and to the point though where I like don't want to ruin the illusion either.
Yeah.
So you just want to enjoy it, and I always look forward to that end part every single time, because it's just this crazy. It just blows my mind too, because what year did Spider-Man open?
It was 99.
99. The movement of the vehicle that you're in is so incredible. It feels like not track oriented. like I don't know. It just it moves in motions that you just would not expect.
Yeah, it's a very immersive ride, in that from each scene to scene and moving in and out, and how they actually have the screens located in the settings. It all feels connected together. You never feel like, oh, I'm clearly just going from one room to another. They do such a good job of filling every space possible that they can, that it really makes for just a seamless transition throughout the ride. And it's brilliant, considering it came out in '99 with Islands of Adventure in their first year of having the park open as well too, and it holds up. There's a lot of, granted, the 4K helps out once they did that upgrade. It really did it did help out a lot. But I
was like their fancy promo images, like the one on the screen here if you're watching.
I was showing off the 4K because you can really tell
that goblin's hand's coming at me.
He's a hobgoblin.
Although I will say the hobgoblin, that is my favorite part of the ride, when he goes to throw the pumpkin bomb and Spider-Man goes to grab it, and he but he gets hit while he's grabbing it, so the bomb shoots off above you and just blows out this thing. It just, Spider-Man, and I Transformers came after this, but Spider-Man, I should have worn my Spider-Man pajamas today. I don't even know why I didn't think about this before I left the house. But
I feel like you've probably got like a whole Spider-Man suit tucked away somewhere. And
my pajamas are. There are ones with a hood and they zip up and they.
I mean, pockets. Like the full-on suit.
Oh yeah, I got that somewhere too. But anyway, I think this attraction does a great job of doing screen, the 3D screen, but then utilizing the props around it.
Yeah.
So there's like the scene, like I said, they're shooting a ray that makes things float at you. Like there's a scene where they go to shoot your car, and because Spider-Man's jumping on like Doc Ock, they're missing, and it hits like a box, and the box floats up.
The box floats up. Eventually, you start floating up too.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. Thank you for so eloquently restating what I said in a very poor fashion.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll get there.
Just needed you to get there. Wow. Such a good attraction. And like any Marvel-based project, you just don't have the characters, and you don't have this great story that goes along with it. You also have a little bit of Stan Lee action.
Oh yeah,
you have a lot of Stan Lee action.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, no. I was going to say, you said, go on. We both spoke. You go. You go
I'm
first.
curious how you're going to go with that.
No, I wasn't. That was not even intended. I was just going to say, he appears in every scene. And for those who don't know, it looks like they were just lazy and they just couldn't be bothered to make another 3D human being. Because Stan Lee appears in almost every scene.
I want to say you can see him like 8 times.
It's something like that. If you
could turn it into a drinking game while you were on the ride, you would need to go to the hospital by the time you're done.
I think Stan Lee was drinking, actually, because he almost crashes that truck into you at one point.
If you notice how many women he's got in the ride with him, too. He's got a lot of women.
They're always in like their 20s as well.
One, too, yeah. Which, by the way, if anybody's seen the I know this is off topic, but the X-Men movie that's coming out, they've been putting out these little promo videos, and there was one, because it's the 80s, and they were like trying to be like, send your kids to our school. And at the end, there's a phone number, and I called it, because I was like, I bet this is a real phone number. And Stan Lee answers the phone, and he says some stuff, so.
Oh, is this, yeah, I've heard about this, the number you can call. Wait there. No, I'm thinking of something else. Go on, Rhino.
Good God.
Do you want me to talk about what I was talking about?
Yeah.
There is a number located somewhere in the attraction. I know this was something years ago. I don't know if they've removed it. I don't know if it's still there. I know you can find the number online. And I believe it's something it's a number for the Daily Bugle. And if you call it, it's not Stan Lee that speaks on the phone, but is it J. Jonah Jameson or someone? You call this number, you will actually hear a representative or J. Jonah Jameson, something. It's been a long time, but someone from the Daily Bugle will speak to you. It's like a pre-recorded message.
I love stuff like that.
It's a nice little Easter egg. I think it exists still, but it's worth having a look to see if you can find it. I thought it was very impressive. Are you seeing if it still exists?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We should call it.
I what I should have done is I had a friend who worked there for years, and he knew a lot of that stuff. I should have asked him before the show about that. Maybe that'll be my housekeeping for next week. I'll get him on the horn, but
what horn?
The I don't know, the French trumpet.
We call it.
Isn't that what people do when they get people on a horn? They play a note.
Possibly. Does it still exist, Craig?
He's trying to find it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So meanwhile, talk amongst yourselves.
Well, this for me is like a no-brainer. I know we're not even at the point where we should be voting, but I love, of all the Marvel-related things that are in Marvel Island, like Spider-Man is by far the best, but then of all the things in Universal Resort in Orlando, in Florida, this is the best. Like this is it's like what Craig said. Like it's this or Forbidden Journey, and the only reason. Well, no, Forbidden Journey has a screen too. I was just gonna say. I don't know. It really just comes down to a fandom thing. I think which one you're gonna like more than the other.
I would like to pose a question. So, whenever they did do the upgrade with the 4K screens, one thing they didn't change though was the entire queue as itself, and they're still showing the SD 90s cartoons now with Hulk just going through its update. And still isn't open yet, obviously.
Those
Late
aren't
summer.
the '90s cartoon, by the way. That's just a cartoon
That
created
style,
for that
though.
thing. Yeah,
but it's that style.
yeah. That's why the ride always just confused me.
The entire superhero island style is the '90s cartoons. That is right where they pulled it from, as well as the '90s comics. So, but now everyone's pointing towards the entire land is going to be all updated to match kind of standard comics looks right now. But with how perfect the ride is at its point, how do you feel about them going through and doing stuff with the queue, especially thinking that the ride would have to come down probably for a period of time for them to be able to update the queue?
I don't know. That would be a shame. I feel like this is like how people say they only go to Hollywood Studios to go on like Toy Story Midway Mania. I feel like this is that equivalent. Like people, for me, it's like it's the flagship ride of this park, and it would be a shame. However, I do think that things do need to close from time to time to make them stay up to standard, because otherwise you're going to go in and there's like paint's coming off everywhere. People are terrible. They'll break stuff. Like, I don't know. I mean, the queue, I think, does have some room for some update. Like because it's weird because you walk in and when you're in the Daily Bugle offices, it's all like black and white, and it's very like, it reminds me of in Back to the Future in the 50s when Doc builds the model that he apologizes for because it's not to scale and he didn't have time to paint it.
But it's still impressive.
Yeah, but that's what the room looks like. It looks like it was the model room, but they didn't finish it. So I think that the queue, they could potentially add some interactive stuff into the queue. That would be kind of cool. Like maybe there's a phone that rings and you can pick it up. You know, maybe there's like TV screens. There are kind of TV screens already in there that are showing like the news as it's happening. What would you think they would do on the screen? Do you think they would do like computer generated, like Spider-Man? You know, you know what I mean? Like how cartoons nowadays aren't hand drawn anymore. The ones in this queue are hand drawn, like the '90s one.
Sorry, I was not listening.
I was saying, do you think
so sorry.
that's the only thing I think they would update is like reanimate those computer scenes, the TV scenes?
I think it would all need to change. I think it would have to have a more mature look. We've already seen the pictures of what the Hulk queue is going to look like. Spider-Man, I think, would have to also fit that mold. It can't. Right now, people do love it because it was designed to look like you were actually in the offices, the comic style offices, not like a regular newspaper office. But it would have to be less cartoonish and more realistic. And I mean that would take some serious updates, in my opinion, to do it. It's not something like overnight where they can just splatter some paint on. I think that would take some serious time, but I don't know how that'll all fit in because they're going to have to redo the island. Because now Hulk is just going to look so incredibly impressive, and everything else is going, from the exterior at least, is going to look I don't know the right word.
I know what you're saying, though. I can. Yeah,
Sad.
dated?
Sad.
Dated.
Dated. Yeah, again, thank you for eloquently putting it.
That's what I do. That's what I do. Well, yeah. So What are we doing here? It's a lot of really awkward pauses, and I don't know.
There
how much
is. I
longer
can give you
keep
some
talking
more
about this ride.
information
I'm
on the
sorry.
attraction if you want. It was that popular over at Universal that they built an exact clone in Universal Japan, so it made it over there. The only difference is, of course, they are speaking Japanese. But no, it's an exact replica of what we have here in Orlando, and it's incredibly popular over there. I was watching some videos before we started during my research segment. Yeah, do you want me to keep reeling off some more facts?
No, well,
I found out?
it's funny because like I don't know that I don't know this for sure, so I can't attest this, but I will say like I've been to Hollywood and I've been to the one here in Orlando, and I don't know that Universal does it like Disney where they have like the different variations of the ride, because our Transformers is essentially the exact same Transformers from there, except for our building is better. Like the building's all themed on the outside, and I don't know about the queue because I didn't go into the queue. But, so I don't know. Their Harry Potter's the same as ours except for it's 3D. But I think ours might end up getting retrofitted for 3D. But so it's kind of like one of those weird. I don't know. Oh, I think Craig's calling the phone number.
No. You give him the sign to keep talking.
Oh, okay. Well. Anyway, so I don't know. It would be cool that if they did start taking that route and putting like, instead of like clone copies, but I guess they're kind of the theme park that they're just trying to attract that tourism around them versus like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like there's one on either side of this country. There's the one in Japan.
I feel like even though they're cloned, they're that further apart. They're really far away from each other that it doesn't feel like a clone, because the majority of people that are going to visit Universal, Japan, Universal, Orlando,
I feel like I've said this
in their
and
respective
now
places.
discourage people from going to Universal Hollywood, which would be a huge mistake because I think Universal Hollywood is beautiful, and I would tell anybody to go any day of the week there. And I have been on every ride here so many times. Like, not every ride. We all know I didn't go on the roller coasters, but I don't know what I'm saying here.
Yeah. So I update. So I called the phone number, and I'm not able to hear really well in here while we're doing all this, but it basically went straight to a voicemail. And I found on our boards where people say no. The instructions this was the old instructions way back in like 2004, where you're supposed to hit pound and then go through, and then you're supposed to hear a message. I don't believe it's working anymore at all.
So you're just leaving messages on a voicemail?
I think so.
Weird. What's the voicemail for, though, did it say?
I tried to go to the options menu, so even if they were getting voicemails, it was like so quickly that nothing came through. So that puts that beef to rest.
Yes,
is that a saying?
I don't think it is now. It is now.
Let's lay that beef to rest.
Yeah, let's put the cow out the back and shoot it.
All right.
So let's go. You already said your thoughts on Spider-Man.
I love Spider-Man.
You love it.
I love him.
So, Oliver, how do you feel? Do you think this is Hall of Fame worthy? Clearly, Sinbad did not make it in, just for anyone wondering. I think that goes without being said. The last one we did was The Eighth Voyage of Sinbad, and it did not. It failed.
Yeah, I do think Spider-Man is completely worthy of being in there for a few reasons. I think it's a good all-rounder. Like, it's an attraction you never really want to miss when you're there. And I know we discussed this briefly earlier, but it's because of that like slightly shorter height requirement. It's a really good introductory ride because it does offer a level of thrills that you can achieve when you're a bit smaller. Mm-hmm. So it's really good to introduce it to some younger members of the family, and it is something that everyone in the family can go on. So I enjoy it immensely. And I think they did a really good job with it. When you compare it to other stuff that has the similar ride, I don't know, the similar actual like ride aspects like Transformers, I still prefer Spider-Man over that. And they were built, like years and years apart. Yeah. So I think that's just because I think they tell the story better, and I like how they incorporate the pyrotechnics where you do miss that on the Transformers. So that's
they have one little bit of pyro on Transformers.
Whereabouts?
Whenever one of the things shoots at you.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't.
There's some smoke.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
is it like is it the steam or smoke, or just like the watery vapor? Because I was thinking about this the other day. Almost every attraction at Universal uses water vapor steam.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one.
It's a good effect. It's practical.
Disney loves to splash you with water too. It's their thing. Any 3D show you're in, you're like, whoa, here comes the water. I shoot at me somewhere.
Well, that makes it 4D.
Yeah.
Makes
Excuse
it.
me.
That's the fourth dimension being added in. So Spider-Man here. Spider-Man.
You're not
However we
Spider-Man.
want to say it. Spider-Man here. Let us say this. I guess it's just me saying this. This is the attraction. Although Harry Potter brought Universal to life while it was not dying, but not
It
doing
was
as well as it
stagnant.
couldn't do. Yeah, it wasn't living up to the potential, which, again, I can't really speak on because I didn't come before. I know people enjoyed Universal back then, but didn't have the same appeal that Disney did. Now it does with Harry Potter. However, this really is, in a way, Universal's... It's their crown jewel. Like, this is the ride that I think defines them as a company more than any other attraction that they have, because it has inspired. Being able to do a moving motion simulator so well like this kind of, in a way, opened up the door for one day Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey to be made, and then the ecstatic success of Transformers and because people love Transformers too. Same ride idea, just different style, more hip to generations that prefer the awful Michael Bay Transformers movie, minus the first one. That one's
No, the first
that
one's
one's
one of my
fun.
least-
That one's fun.
I like the third one better than that
It's a
one.
kooky good time. I haven't
Shia
seen
LaBeouf.
the Mark Wahlberg one.
Oh, that one's
I have not
god
seen
awful.
that
That
one.
one's the worst one by far.
Yeah, but its impact has just been so great, and the point that once you have Gringotts come out, it is basically a mixture of the Mummy and that Spider-Man. Now I'm saying it just naturally. Spider-Man.
Walter Spiderman. Walter J. Spiderman.
Yes, hails from Poland. Moved to Brooklyn.
It's not Spiderman. He's a spider. He's man.
Spider-Man.
Little friends there for anybody.
Yes. It's just, this has had such an impact. And, I think once people, it might not have been something before that got people in the door saying, I need to go see Spider-Man, even though it was everywhere. I've mentioned it before whenever we talk about it on this show. I can remember watching awful Travel Channel specials and Discovery Channel specials about the theme parks, and the Spider-Man was always on there. And at that time, I was a little Disney loving kid, obsessed with it, and always kind of pissed off, like, why are they're raving about Spider-Man, how great it is. I just want to see Disney rides. But Spider-Man really is, at that time, I didn't ride it then, but I could say at that time period, up until Forbidden Journey opened, Spider-Man was clearly the best ride in Orlando.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Easy.
It had to be. There's nothing at Disney that I think even at this point, comes close to Spider-Man. So not only is it, in my opinion, a Hall of Fame worthy ride, Universal's probably their best ride they've ever created. Not my favorite, probably best, but it is something that should never fall out of grace from theme park industry, is for years to come. I mean, it probably will not be around like an old wooden roller coaster is in 100 years, just because I'm sure this technology will get so outdated that it has to adapt to the times, unless those millennials kill us. What's the ones below us? Because technically, some people would put us in millennial phase.
I think we are technically millennials.
I don't believe
But I
that,
think
though.
we're like the first year of it.
Listen, I saw a lot of Pepsi commercials for Generation X.
I know. That's
so
why I was so confused, because the Spice Girls were singing that song when we were like in middle school or like freshmen. in high
So
school.
whatever. The group after us is going to cause the apocalypse.
Is that me?
Yeah, essentially.
Awesome.
Yeah, we get it. You're younger than us.
Thank you. No, I'm just
We
saying.
understand.
Thank
Hey,
you.
I'm not normally the one
complimenting you.
that points it out. It's always normally you, Rhino.
Oh, well.
Get it. I understand. So, Spider-Man, best ride, hands down. We will have the voting up on Disboards at some point today.
It's also got a great gift shop.
Yeah, great gift shop.
Sorry, love the gift shop.
Love it. Spider-Man merchandise.
Yeah, anything
Lots.
you can dream of.
Yeah, comics, more
Yeah.
mugs.
Do they have comics there?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's a comic store. In
There is also a comic store in there. They carry some.
Oh.
Have you never been in the comic store at Islands of Adventure in general?
You can get your annual
Whereabouts
pass
is
or
it?
discount on
I've-
It's
It's in Marvel Island.
It's in
at
Marvel
Islands of
Superhero
Adventure.
Island. I'm
No,
gonna throw you for a loop here. It's the store that literally says comics. Because all the names it's all based off of like what a cartoon would do, and a cartoon wouldn't have a fancy name for a store. It would just say comics or
like Jewel or
food,
yeah.
stuff like that. So that's why it's in the comics store.
I think I've always just been too enamored with the attractions to go in, so that's something new I can go and
The
look at
arcade
now.
is called-
I didn't realise.
Arcade.
It is, you're right. I didn't even realise that, Honestly, never occurred to me.
Wow, I'm glad we could.
Glad we added this person, this very observant person, to this team.
Yes.
Wow.
No, we're adding in a person who has an opinion.
You know who he is? He's the Topher Grace to our Spider-Man.
Who's Topher Grace?
His real name is actually Christopher, but he shortened it to Topher.
No, it isn't, is
It
it?
absolutely is. It's one of my, not to
Oh
go
my
off subject.
gosh.
I know we're trying to end the show now. When he hosted SNL way back in the
When people
I guess
cared
that
about
would have
him?
been it's still in 2000s there, but he hosted SNL, and in his monologue, someone was like, "Oh, so it was Jason Sudeikis, I believe, even," and he's like, "So Topher, your name's Christopher, and you just shortened it to Topher or something like that," and God, okay, no, now I can't think of it.
I heard he's a big jerk in real life, though. So there's that. He threw quite a temper tantrum at Disney guest relations one day. Yeah.
What was he complaining about? Do you know?
That he wanted a lot of stuff because of who he was. And they're like, nobody cares.
But this might not be true. This is just speculation. Just
Oh no,
saying.
it's true. I just didn't want to say it was true.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to just be vague instead of saying like I know for a fact he's kind of a jerk.
Okay. Here is the transcript. I got a question. What's the deal with your name? Yeah, I get this a lot. Topher is short for Christopher, kind of the same way Chris is. Yeah, but what? You think you're too classy to be called Chris? No, you just, Topher's just another variation on Chris. Yeah, that's like a classier version. Look, it suits me. Certain names fit certain people. Like, what's your name? My name's Chris, and that suits you. Okay, so you're saying that I can name my kid Matthew and call him Thew, right? I can do that. I can do that and expect people to not kick the crap out of him.
Not get the crap out of him. What? Oh my God! On The Office, when Andy comes back, it's Drew.
Yeah,
It's Drew. Hey Andrew. Hey Andy. Drew. No, I'm not going to call you that.
yeah. that was my Topher Grace bit of the day. Go out and I'll try to post
From his Topher Grace calendar.
I'll put the monologue.
365 days of Topher Grace.
I'll try to find the monologue in there and embed it in the show notes. And of course, we'll also have a link for that voting where we got completely sidetracked. So yeah, go ahead and vote for it. It'll be in the Diz Unplugged section on disboards.com. And please leave a comment letting us know why you believe Spider-Man should or should not be in our Universal Hall of Fame. And maybe even add on to what I said. Is Spider-Man the best attraction in Orlando? What do you think it is? I'd be interested to see.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and maybe we can even talk about it at some point in time. Who knows? I'm up for anything. But that's how we feel about Spider-Man. That's now the ball's in your court.
Now the webs in your
Now the web's in your
paper.
the web's in your house. Go getting bit by radioactive spiders. But thank you all so much. Thank you guys for participating. Thank you for watching out there. Of course, our show notes are at disunplugged.com. That's where you'll find everything you need to know along with the Diz Unplugged podcast network, including the Disney World show, Diz Pop, and
Wow.
And the Disneyland show and Dreams Unlimited Travel show. There's a lot of shows. We do a lot of stuff. We have busy lives.
The
You all
web's
know that.
in your hands.
You pretty much do all that. So go there if you need any links, information, more. We'll post a ride through probably of someone else's video. Spider-Man, you're not supposed to record on it, so that's why we are respectful, and we do not have a video to show along with it. So we'll try to find a way that you guys can see it if you are interested in seeing it out there. And yeah, of course, go to our Facebook, Twitter. Make sure you're connected on all that stuff. Even whenever we're not posting, it just boosts our ego just ever so slightly.
Oliver needs that.
Yeah, Oliver needs it mostly. Oliver has taken over all the social medias for Universal, and he just hasn't been posting. So
he's trolling.
Go ahead and make sure you leave comments on there about why you feel Oliver is not doing his job well enough. I'm joking. It's my
People
fault.
are going to do it. People will do it.
I'm the one slacking on the job here, but thank you again all so much. Remember, if you're watching, you like this, hit that thumbs up button. If you're listening, go leave us a comment. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Diz Unplugged Universal Edition. We will be back again next week with another episode. But until then, our resolutions.
Show.
Oh, darn, Spider-Man's Universal.